Yay! Alright, I'm live. Huzzah. Good evening. Welcome to your doom. I'm just kidding. I don't know. This time around, it's a little different. Okay, not really, but I'm just testing out what's going on with this direct to Ethernet cable to see whether or not I get kicked out of the internet again. I've yet to determine whether or not I will stay on here pretty long within the hour or after the hour, because this is super impromptu. Usually I don't want to be on too late, but I do have minor exceptions like now. And so I'm just seeing how this turns out. And I need to stop yammering on and actually get on to painting. I know I talk a lot, but fun fact, in real life, I avoid it like the plague, despite how I sound. I don't like talking. If I had a choice to talking to a certain friend over just doing paintings, it depends on the friend situation. If I actually want to hang out with you and talk, by all means, okay, that's the exception. Other than that, I'd rather be at home painting. Okay. So, yes, someone peeked in and they left, and I will point it out because I think that's my gimmick at this point. Now, let's see here. Do I have another paint? Probably. I also wanted to show a little bit of here. I forgot how much progress I had, but I haven't been using Procreate for about 2 months. I was gonna, and then I went back to the traditional art. I know that with nowadays there's a lot of convenience. Hey, no drama over there, you. You know, I told these guys behind me to knock it off, don't be annoying, and they do this stuff. This is what I signed up for. And I have to have calm temper throughout the entire duration, you know? Hey, you too. I told you. I'm already live now, okay? So watch your mouth. Wesley, don't do that. I'll watch both of you. Both of you go in the hallway. I'm sorry for that. I just don't like it when I tell people, please be quiet, I'm going live, and then they decide not to listen because I'm just the mom, you know? You want me to rant? I will not, because I know what happens when a lot of women rant about their family life. They're on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, by the way. You know what's funny, though? When my new phone, I actually got easy access. Oh, no. I don't want to go to TikTok. I'm just trying to show that I did get free TikTok. As you can see here, I don't want it. And so I thought it was interesting that, they're even waving it in my face now. Should I join? No, I don't feel like it. Okay. I can barely keep up with YouTube and Instagram. All right. Why do I need another one? Unless there's a legitimate reason for me to want to actually. Well, I technically already have an account. The other thing is I don't like being there. I don't feel like I would belong. I'm too old for that. I know there's people my age and even older that are on the TikToks and all that stuff. It doesn't suit me. I don't like stupid dances, okay? Traditional dances, cultural dances, and, professional dances are one thing. Some shitty teenager online doing a stupid dance and they get millions and billions of views and they get promos and not, you know what? I don't, okay? Yes, some of the dances there are stupid. Okay, I can say that. Anyway, it took me over 3 minutes to start painting because I couldn't find the right paint. I should have done this earlier. I'm sorry. Okay, not really. So, I'm sorry for the micro outburst I had. I just don't like it when I give warnings to people, telling them, hey, I'm going to go on live now. Behave. Don't be annoying. And they say, okay, I won't do it. And then right when I click you're live, then they decide to be annoying. And they're in the other room, so they can hear me. They can hear me. They just choose not to listen. So anyway, this is what I have to put up with. This is kind of why I'm a little loud than the typical introvert, even though I am introvert to a fault. It's so embarrassing. But yeah, I have to compete. And I don't want to. It stresses me out. But I do what I can to be heard. Be heard. Okay, so this guy here, Alphonse Elric. Does anyone remember Full Metal Alchemist? Oh, so long time ago. I still like them, but I actually like the first anime release over the Brotherhood, where they were more tied to the original manga. I feel like the original manga, while it's still pretty good in its own right, I just feel like there's too much going on. Too much going on for me. Whereas the other one, the first anime that they released, while they, of course, they do have similarities, it's not totally tied to the original manga. And I feel like a whole bunch of diehard fans are like up in arms about the whole, this isn't like the manga, and I'm like, but it's still good. What's wrong with it? I think because that one came first before Brotherhood, I felt more like, oh, okay. But originally, I was able to watch through both because I was more of a diehard fan for FMA. And then I realized recent years, I tried to rewatch Brotherhood again. I got bored. I got so bored. I don't know. I was like, how did I sit through all these episodes? And I think the manga version is longer than the first version. So I was like, oh, what the hell? Okay, that's interesting. So apparently it's not interesting to those who left because I don't talk about Korean War. I don't know what people think on who come here sometimes. Oh, I don't know. But I think those who don't look at my channel long enough or see even my live streams and they just see it at face value as to what is this stuff that I'm posting on here on my channel. Because recently there was a comment that says, this is a propaganda channel. And I was like, yeah, and yes, I do have the liberty to imitate comments in a weird voice because I can. And so I just find it very odd. A little funny, but very odd to just write off. I mean, hey, for what it's worth, I'm not totally mad at that because you see all these the shorts that I have, and I don't blame you for thinking like that. But the other thing is when people don't look even further than that, then I'm like, it's okay to look at it. But I think because the war shorts overshadow my art stuff, it's a lot easier for them to write off this channel as a propaganda channel, which is funny in itself because why are they acting like China's the only place that creates propaganda movies? US has propaganda movies too, and I'm from the US, whether you like it or not. So yeah. I try not to be super petty and bitter about that stuff because but can you blame me when I go through the comments and there are all these lectures and super technicalities and pokes and prods about that's not supposed to happen in the movie, that's not supposed to happen in the war. Were you there? Were you there? If you're not, let's try not to be too negative. I try not to have blow a gasket over such things. I just look at them and okay, you said that, I get what you're saying, but it's also a movie. I always have to emphasize that they're movies and they do have creative liberties, even if we don't agree to them, but they are being made, whether we were not there to determine whether or not this should be in the movie or not. We're not part of the production crew. Okay. And that's fine. And you also, I'm not forcing you to watch it. I don't know why people keep mentioning, like, why am I being forced to watch it? Like, who says you were? You can go somewhere else. You can click somewhere else, and that's fine. And I actually mean that as a woman that says that's fine. That is fine. And there's a fruit fly. Go away. You do not deserve to be here. And yes, it's already summer and the fruit flies want to steal all the fruit, which is weird because I don't have fruit on here. I have packaged tea cakes if you like, So yeah, I know. Comments. What else? Do you really want me to go through the comments or read the comments? Do you really want to? I mean, there's some that are Google Translate that I also read those too. So yeah. There's not much different other than that one comment assuming that I am just propaganda maja's channels. I'm sorry. I swear I can talk, but after midnight I just start talking weird, I guess. Okay, not really. I'm just making shit up. Let's see. Anything else going on? Oh yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah. I've watched the first version of the anime so many times. I can't watch it too much anymore. It's very nostalgic. I still like Alphonse Elric, but not enough for me to rewatch everything again. Because I watched it so much when it was a big thing. So, what's it like? Marginal utility, where you enjoy the thing initially, but you keep using it over time, and the more you use it, the more you lose interest, or it makes you sick. The more you ingest like spaghetti, or like say pizza or whatever interesting trendy food and you like and you keep eating it, and the more you eat it the less interested and disgusted you become. It's kind of like that. And so I haven't watched this in a long time, but I also don't feel like I want to watch it because I watched it so much when it was really popular. Unfortunately, I would like to. It's just like I mentioned, like maybe give me another 10 years. But I do rewatch certain animes, funny enough, like Gal Force, The Eternal Story, but only the first movie. The rest, I'm like, ugh. I tried watching them, but I don't care enough about the other characters, just the main characters. And even then, it was kind of open-ended and weird. And it's a bit catered to a certain demographic, apparently. If you watched it, you know what I mean. More or less. That also is open-ended. But you kind of get it. So the other things I also watch like once in a while again on not repeat. Project Echo, the first movie. That one's my absolute favorite. There's some anime snobs like, oh, it's a satire movie, man. It's a parody movie. Yeah, so what? It's still pretty funny and entertaining. As long as I'm entertained, I don't give a shit. I don't know why people assume like every movie has to be like the perfect classic timeless movie of all time. Like, no, it doesn't. As long as you're entertained, you accept that there are flaws, but you still like the movie anyway. That's fine. I don't know why. Ever since I think internet is the root of all these technicalities and all this crap. Like, it doesn't have to be a perfect movie. It doesn't have to be a perfect TV show. There can be flaws. It happens. Nobody's perfect. And yet internet thrives on perfection, and the algorithm thrives on perfection as well. Oh my god. But thankfully I don't pay attention to that stuff too much. I don't even look up like the whole concept of influencers. I don't really care about that stuff, and they keep saying, oh, influencers are poisoning the internet, and I'm like, what? You don't have to watch them. Like, at most you see them on advertisements and that's it. You don't have to. Again, like I mentioned, no one's forcing you to watch it, okay? It doesn't have to apply to the Korean War shorts. It applies to a lot of things you watch on the internet. If you don't like what you see, go somewhere else. Click away. You can dislike it. Okay, fine. Then just go somewhere else. That's okay. Stop crying. So anyway. Other animes I would watch that I still am interested. Claymore is pretty good. I also need to remember to reread the manga, but lately I haven't been able to find it. I can't even purchase it unless I buy it on eBay or some other where they complete the entire series and it's over 100 bananas. So I was like, geez, man. And whenever I try to look for manga apps, they work really well for like maybe a month or two, and then they have to shut down and reopen another app because they were reported on for reasons. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, crap again. So yeah, there's always that. I try to support them recently, even though people still complain about a lot of the animes. I'm like, oh my god, when are you ever happy? Jeez. I think if it makes you so visibly angry, and other people also have similar agreements about why what show, what anime, what movie sucks, okay, fine, I'll give you that. But then if it's super obscure and no one gives a crap, and it's just you screaming into the void, maybe you should chill out a bit. Watch something else. But anyway, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I get that, but sometimes it seems a bit much. All right, and that's my own opinion. Anyway, other animes I still try to watch again. I'm trying to look for The Dagger of Kamui. I can't find that. They used to have that on YouTube, but they don't show it anymore. Maybe a few clips and some people making commentary, but I don't see it as a full movie anymore, and that makes me kind of sad because that was also one of my first animes I was introduced to. It's kind of long. It's like maybe over 2 hours, and it's a long story for its time, and it can have periods where it's a little bit slow, but I still liked it. It's not perfect with animation, but it's very nostalgic to me, so I let that pass. What else is there? Oh, Vampire Hunter D is pretty good, but I noticed that the art does not translate well to the animation. It doesn't look very good, but it is dated at the same time. It does have some interesting concepts, but I think Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust has improved a lot. But I could, for some reason, never finish it. It just ends up being background noise to me. I'm sorry, but I do know that it has improved from the last their first animation, and then I found out that they also have their own manga. I was like, oh, okay, but for some reason, I never got around to reading it, or I find it and I say, okay, I'm gonna read it, and then I don't. I don't know. I need to try to read it, but I just like the animation more, I guess, and the concept art, even though it is a little bit weird. What's the artist name? Yoshitaka Amano. While his art is amazing, it gets a bit busy at times. Not a bad busy, but it takes a while for my eyes to adjust. Okay. This is not totally great. And I also want to make this have a metal sheen to it, but maybe later. Let me just let this first second-ish layer dry. I made a mistake of putting black lines instead of pink. So I'm going to have to paint over the lines somehow, and then hopefully it'll be okay, but no promises. And yeah, I'm pretty sure people that come in and out of here assume that I'm this warmongering conspiracy theorist with tinfoil hats on my head and crying into the night at 12 a.m. about why the Korean War is the greatest war and no one should forget about it. Then turns out, oh, what the hell? Is this the same person? This person's channel has been hacked. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny when I think about it that far. And I try not to think too hard about that stuff, but I don't know. I make up stories in my head too. Anyway, so yeah, I do like anime, but I kind of stopped after maybe the early 2000s. Early 2010s, but there were a few exceptions like Demon Slayer, and I do get that there are some parts of the story where it gets kind of stupid, and there's a lot of like conveniences that go down, and yeah, you just want the story to just go forward, and let's just let the story go further, okay? We do not have to keep talking about the same thing way too long than we should, okay? Let's go forward, please. Let me see. I need to borrow some paint. I don't know if this one's still good. This one's still good. Yay. Okay, so this is water, this is green. Okay. So yeah, I prefer the old anime stuff over the current stuff nowadays. And even some people like, oh, why did we have anime like that anymore? And I was like, well, technology happened, trends happened, and that's what happens. But a lot of the anime I notice I can't really get follow up on because a lot of them they take place in high school, and high school is a long time ago for me. There's only a few exceptions that I don't mind reading a high school story if it's more like a slice of life sort of thing and they don't involve too much things like isekai, like girl from another world has to go to another planet to save the what kingdom from and then there's a harem of guys lusting after this 13-14-year-old girl. Okay. I get the trope. It gets tiring, but people still eat that stuff up. And then what else? The shonen stuff where the underdog has like a handicap and everyone else is normal, but then the underdog figures something out to help one up over all the other normal people, and then it turns out he's cheating, she's cheating, and blah blah blah, and then someone finds out on their secret, all that kind of stuff. And then and then they have like, what are they, like mentors to follow up with and all that stuff. I don't know, it's just, and they don't know how to write women. They always write them weird, and I'm like, oh, okay. But at the same time, who's writing them? Usually men, but there's some good female writers in the manga industry, So it's like, what's going on here? But yeah, anyway, I still have a lot more fun reading manga, watching anime if possible, but they tend to be the older stuff, like in the 80s, 90s, early-ish 2000s, and a few recent ones. I think early 2010s to some degree. And so that's fine. And I see a bunch of people leaving. Yeah, I know. So I have a lot more fun with anime than Disney. Okay, it's funny because a lot of people around my age, they tend to go for the super mainstream pop culture, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman the Animated Series, what else? What girly TV shows? I don't know. Because I was raised around my brothers, I don't pay attention to the see, I can't even say feminine stuff, all right? I usually watched cartoons like Nickelodeon, Ren and Stimpy. I did watch Rugrats for a time, and also Doug. And then some other stuff. But I know there were girl cartoons. I think Totally Spies was one of them. I didn't care for that. When I was younger, I was into girly things like My Little Pony and Gem. And then that's basically it from what I can remember. But then shortly after, I liked boy-ish things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Looney Tunes was kind of funny. But I still watch Disney, and I appreciate the animation, and it looked great. I wasn't too keen on the songs, funny enough, because I didn't like singing. Yeah, I'm Filipino, and I don't like singing. Yeah. Try explaining that to other Filipinos. But that doesn't mean I don't sing. It's just I don't like doing it in front of other people. So, anyway, yeah, I grew up with Disney too, like everyone else, but it did not really stick to me as well as I thought it would. Because I did like reading Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Pocahontas. Well, I know what was wrong with that, but it was still kind of nice looking, even though the history was disturbingly wrong to no end. But, we try not to think too hard on that kind of stuff. But yeah. And then I did like Hercules. Hercules was kind of funny. Emperor's New Groove was kind of funny. And I liked it more as an adult than as a kid. As a kid, I was like, ew, what is this crap? But then later, as I got older and I understand what jokes are going on, though I still don't care for David Spade, but he did sell his character quite well. What else was there? Yeah, Hercules was a lot of fun. I think my favorite was Megara. I feel like my personality is more like that to some degree. Not all of it, but the sarcastic part, hands down. And then and the part with no friends. Yeah, that's disturbingly true. And so the rest is, I don't remember too much, unfortunately. Mulan. Oh yeah, Mulan was fun. I liked Mulan. It was pretty cool. I wish there was something similar for Filipino, because yes, I am Filipino American, and people nowadays always cry out about representation, and they have so much representation even before they were crying it out like crazy. I don't see that much about Filipinos and Filipino Americans. Do you? Except the bad stuff. Do I really want to bring up the bad stuff? Just look on YouTube. Look on YouTube and just look up Filipinos and see what kind of stuff you come up with. There may be some good ones there, but if it's in the English language, a lot of it's not good. If you know Tagalog, on the other hand, that's a whole other story. I mean, of course, they have some bad news reports and this and that, but they have some interesting stuff there, like travel vlogs throughout the multitude of islands. But a lot of it's in Tagalog, but they do sprinkle in English, so it's not you're not necessarily out of the loop, but they probably have some interesting information that you're probably not going to hear. And some vlogs that are interesting, or some cooking shows, and and then I'm like, it would be great if they had translations, but I guess if it's too much for them, I totally understand that they don't want to branch out further than Tagalog. I totally get that. I totally get it. So I'm not like, why can't they do for English? Like, while I want to, I understand why it might be too much work, or they don't have enough help. I totally get that. So I'm not totally clowning on them, but I guess it would be nice, especially those who are Filipino American who lack enough literacy and did not grow up around, learning Tagalog actively. I think that would be a lot helpful for them as well, and they could also learn Tagalog in the process too. But yeah, you can only say as much as you want, and you probably won't get what you want. Welcome to life. But yeah, I don't hear a lot of positive things, especially if you look online in the English speaking about Filipinos and Filipino Americans. I hear so much negative stuff. I wonder if I should talk about that. Do you want me to talk about that? Feel free to let me know. If not, that's fine too. Should I let this dry? No, wait, I can paint blue, or I should put yellow. Is there enough yellow? I don't want to get. Oh, right. I put some stuff in here because I suck. Okay. I'll just dip around, I guess. 27 minutes only. Jeez. Oh no, this one's kind of stuck. Lovely. I'll make do with what I got. I think this one's a yellow cat. Excuse me. Yeah, as much as I also want to bring up more Filipino American things, as a Filipino American, I also have concerns. Because I don't know if I should even talk much about that. I don't see much interest or people giving a crap about Filipino Americans, unless it's a bad stuff you hear on YouTube, and I cannot vouch for every single Filipino American experience. I feel that is impossible. I know that is impossible. I can only speak from what I've dealt with growing up as one. All right. I don't mind, but if there is an interest, even one or two people, I'll talk about it. I don't care. I don't need like 500 people to know. No, like if it's two people that are interested, by all means. Because I know I don't sound like a Filipino American. And people have told me such, and I was like, what are they supposed to sound like? And it's not like I don't know. I've seen them, I've talked to them, and some of them don't like me. I don't know why. It's like, and they don't tell it to me to my face because I know there is a kind of a cultural mentality about not offending people, but then they, human nature, not just Filipino nature. There's also a kind of human nature about not wanting to hurt people's feelings, but they have their own spin on that in a way. And so I don't know. I also don't want to thrive and just talk about the bad things about Filipinos and Filipino Americans. Plus, I don't want to also talk about just Filipinos because I only know them through my relatives and the few friends and coworkers I've encountered. I don't want to use those experiences as this is how they are and this is how they always be. That's not how that works. A lot of people online like to think like that, but that's not how it works. Okay. If you think like that, maybe you need to get that checked. It's that's not a good way to navigate through life and encountering other people. So don't write off every single person of that race or that ethnic group just because you had a bad experience with one or two people or even a small group of people. Not all of them are like that. Okay. I don't want to get on that soapbox. All right. I assume we should know such things. We have internet. We have no excuse, but people still don't give a shit. So yeah. I also don't want this channel and my content to be about being Filipino American. I don't do much. I that's the best way I can put it. I grew up as one and I had more or less some similar experiences to some, but I also know that some people had more negative experiences than me and some have more positive and more encouraging experiences like learning Tagalog in the household. But yeah, if you want to know more about such things based on my experiences, not for me generalizing all Filipino Americans, okay, I won't do that. I refuse to do that. Feel free to let me know, okay? But again, that's if at least one or two people give a crap. Even one person, I don't mind. Just let me know. Okay, so how is this going along? Well, this is kind of cute. Oh no, this is kind of drying up now. Whoopsie doodle. Did you hear that the voice of Marge Simpson passed away? I was like, what? Oh my god, that's so sad. I don't even know who if the Simpsons is still playing airing now. I haven't watched that show since maybe season 15 or 16 or so. I think I might have stopped earlier than that, but I do know that they were like always ongoing, trying to catch up with the trends and celebrities and stuff. And then to the point where some of the voice actors and actresses are starting to pass away now. I know the one from Mrs. Krabappel passed away. There might have been another one or two, but I don't remember. But I know that one passed away now. Marge Simpson passed away. I was like, oh no, that's so sad. I was like, oh man. Like she has a very distinct voice, as well as she didn't play only her. She also played like the other sisters, the twins, and I think the mother. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So I was like, oh no. Maybe I should draw Marge Simpson. Actually, I kind of like her sometimes, but she does have her moments where she's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But she was also an artist. I was like, oh my gosh, though it was mostly fan art for Ringo Starr, but she was really good at what she did. But yeah, I didn't follow the Simpson lore after a certain season when it was starting to get kind of questionable. So yeah. Are these flowers? I forgot. Oh, I made a basement. Oh, and then also I keep hearing reports online and on reels and stuff, about how there's heat waves left and right throughout the world, especially in the summer weather. And I've heard some complaints from a few friends here and there. Meanwhile, where I'm at, it's still gray, windy, and cold. Today and I think yesterday was a little bit sunny, but still windy and cold. So I was like, okay, I'll try not to complain as much this time around since I'm not sick this time, but I am also trying not to whine too much. I can't make any promises when I start getting sick. But yeah, that's how the weather has always been here. It's always gray, cold, and windy. So whenever I see people coming in here with shorts, t-shirts, and coochie cutters or what have you, and sandals, and the weather is windy and cold, and they look bewildered and confused, like, I thought this is hot weather. It's like, that's further south, not here. Wrong place, man, unfortunately. And if you want to try to go to the beach in this kind of weather, oh, you are in a world of disappointment. Plus, if you stay in that water too long, your skin starts feeling weird. Like it has like a sticky, humid like texture when you come out of the water. I'm not sure why that is. I heard there's some chemicals in there too. So, and also it's really salty, obviously, and it's cold. The only time you can enjoy the beach weather here is when it's super hot into like the 80s, or Fahrenheit rather, or past 4, or yeah, in the mid 30s to 40s, more or less, when it's super, super hot. Then you can go to the beach, but then everyone else is joining the beach as well. So have fun with that. Okay, so I'm going to let this area I don't know what I'm doing with this. I don't have my reference on me. I'm just trying to go off memory, and it's not a good thing to rely on. Do I have blue? I kind of have blue. Okay, I'll use this. Hopefully I finish some of these cards. Yeah, lately, this past week, like I mentioned before, I was dealing with some issues with my stupid phone and this internet for live streams. They've been giving me a hell of a hard time. It's been happening since last Sunday. It's been going on prior to Sunday, but it's gotten worse when I switched computers with my husband's computer / editor. Yeah. And so, because this is a gaming PC, it insists on having better quality-ish internet. So we had to get this tested on the Ethernet cable directly to my PC and to downstairs where the internet stuff is. Yes, I like my speech lingo. So far it seems pretty good. I haven't had any hiccups so far. I haven't seen this thing kick me in and out. It starts usually in the 45-minute mark into an hour, but then so far it's been quite clear. And also my camera's been cooperating with me. What's going on? Okay, yeah. This feels like Bizarro World at this point, but I try not to question too much. Oh my god, did someone fart? Thanks for sharing. Hopefully it didn't get picked up because yeah, thank you. Thank you. Can you give me something else except farts? I don't need that right now. Okay, so I'll let this dry for the time being. Oh, it's so cute. Little jelly bean kitties. Let's see, anything going down here? No. Okay, so now what can I paint? I want to resume this sucker. Okay, so there's some ew. I can maybe hide it in theory. Let's find out. Oh, no. Actually, let me just try to paint over that messed up stuff because I think I was in a rush that time. And then I'll try to figure out how to clean this crap up. Yeah, this is why I have a lot of projects just being cranked out like crazy. I don't work on just one and just go to the next one. I have to go through at least 5, 6, maybe 15 projects at the same time. I kind of lost count, but I just picked the most immediate ones that are similar to each other. And then it's fast and slow at the same time because I'm doing several things all at once. And then I wait for them to dry so I can add on another layer or another like shadows and lighting and this and that, or extra details with pens. if possible, with paint, if possible, and then work from there. I have a lot of fun doing it, but what I think is fun doesn't mean other people will think it's fun. And while I get that, some people tend to be kind of rude about it. I haven't met such people yet, but I want to keep it that way, but there's no promises. Welcome to life. I know. But it's fun for me when no one's watching. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I don't really do this with a live stream, and the rare times I do, I tend to wonder, is this actually interesting for anyone? And judging from me looking at people going in and out of my live stream, probably not. I also try to invite the online friends to check it out, but I get that they're busy. I get it. Sad, but I get it. So I don't pressure them to, like, you got to watch this or I'll, I'm super sad and all that. I don't do that kind of manipulation to them. Okay. I keep that to myself. But then I still get it. Okay. Y'all have lives. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just clowning a bit. But yeah, don't worry about that if you don't have the time to watch it. It'd be great if you do. And then I do have the chat box there, and I haven't had issues yet with people causing me troubles yet, despite the comments begging to differ by a landslide. But it's not too bad. Not too bad anyway. For now. I don't know how long that'll last, but for the time being, it's pretty okay. I hope it stays that way. Please let it stay that way. I can pay you in cheese. Anyway, yeah. Initially, prior to starting live streaming in general, I actually did not want to join a live stream. I did not want to do. I swear I can talk. Jeez, lousy Sundays. Well, now it's Sunday. I initially did not want to do live streams. I was so apprehensive. I was I don't know about sickened by the idea, but I did not find the idea thrilling or interesting for the matter. I was like, I'd rather be caught dead than go on a live stream. I don't want to be on a YouTube. But I did already join YouTube. I did mention this in my Instagram talking videos. I would mention that I did not want to do live stream. The concept terrifies me. And look at me now. I'm doing live streams left and right. But I think what I did not want is to do live stream with my face on most of the time. I also don't want to make that a central focus point, just because I know how messed up people are about people's appearances, and I don't want to have that distracting you guys from whatever I'm posting online. I do have this unfortunateness of being distracting with my appearance at times. What do you mean by that? Well, I don't feel like answering right now. Meanwhile, before I continue, I decided to start making a book, not a real book. This is a DIY painting, whatever book. And it's pretty fun. I'm not going to show you. Well, this is the back side, and the other side, I do like what's going on, but it kind of looks similar to those rose gold accent thingies that they have on mouse pads and women's stationery and marbling. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I still like the color choices. It was supposed to be like a sunset cloud thing going down. But yeah, I already am working on some things. I will not show it. Let me see off camera. I forgot what I have. Ew, that's nice. Well, the hint is it's supposed to be an inspirational book of sorts, as well as some things I've heard in my past that stuck to me. Let's just keep it at that. And it's not super serious. There will be some stupid quotes that I heard that cracked me up, let's just say. So yeah, that will be an ongoing project. I will not always update the progress. I will show it maybe halfway done, and then when it's either near or totally completed. That's at least what I have in mind. My plans always are subject to change at some point, but for now, that's what I have as my main plan until something stupid happens, I guess. Why is it turning green? I know why it's turning green, because I'm combining it with blue, you dum-dums. Okay, 44-minute mark. All right, good to know. Yay. What else can I talk about? Oh, I wrote notes. Okay, I did that one online stuff. Blah. I did that stuff. I did that. Oh, I did that. Oh, I did that. Oh, I noticed recently online there's a lot of people getting canceled, or they have a whole bunch of negative things that they've been committing, and people are having like an expose about those YouTubers or influencers or what have you, and they're all like, they have receipts of their bad behavior, and then a lot of these YouTubers are doubling down, or they're canceling or deleting their YouTube, or they're deleting their Twitter, or their subscriber count has been dropping like flies. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? It's a bit excessive now. I'm like, okay. Or some people get canceled for the most banal, dumb stuff, whereas some people who should be canceled for showing inappropriate things online with involving the deceased, let's say, they still have a career, whereas some people make a comment and they misconstrue that as something else, like it's racist or bigoted, and it's an opinion. Regardless, they still find a way to blow it out of proportion. I'm like, it shouldn't be that bad, but other people make it so because of how ridiculously sensitive everyone is, it feels. But yeah, I try to stay away from that kind of stuff. Especially with some of the content I have, like the Korean War and all that crap. I also try not to make fun of the stuff, like with my reaction shorts. I don't want to, my idea is just what I'm looking at, surface level, and what I can interpret from that. And it's very simple. It's not like, oh, I am knowledgeable of the wars and all its intricacies and the complexities of how they fight and blah blah. I know this is just, oh, okay, they're on a hill and oh gosh, down they go, they got shot, oh my gosh, that's a lot of catch up, things like that. I know that's very basic reaction stuff, but this is just what I'm seeing in front of me and how I react to it. Okay, that's what a reaction thing is, right? I assume so. And then that's it. I don't want to go any further than that. Like my wholehearted opinion about the Korean War and all that. I only have less than 60 seconds to make a reaction, right? I do have longer videos with my husband / editor. I did have a few on there, and those, it's okay. I don't like doing that too much. He is more, how is it? He is more proactive about such content. He loves doing that kind of stuff. As for me, I don't. I don't. But I do know I need more video watch time with regular videos, not just shorts, because shorts you need a lot more, but thankfully I do have enough. But I should work on more views with actual videos. And I'm also trying to do that with live streams, but I can tell that not a lot of people like them, but I like them. And I get a lot work done doing them. So that's why I keep doing them. It's one thing where no one likes them and I get nothing done. Then, okay, that is a waste of time. don't do that anymore. But because I'm actually working more on these things, despite me talking and yammering on, I actually do get more work done. So as long as it's productive to someone or useful, especially to me, then I'm fine. Yes. I think if it were like no one watches and I get nothing done, then for sure I won't do live streams. And also if I hate it. I mean, I low key hate it because I'm antisocial. It's like second nature to like go, you know. But if I'm actually getting some work done, like what I'm doing now, then at least I know I'm not totally wasting my time. All right. So I try to approach it that way. As long as there's of some use to it, I will keep going. You know, that makes sense, right? Okay. Or I thought I had some paint palettes, and here we go. I thought I had a smaller one. I do have this ceramic one. I don't want to use it. Okay. I guess I'll use this. Jeez. Because I have this white paint, it's super chunky, and I don't want to keep dipping in here. It's annoying. Because I also want to make this a little bit watery, and there's some hair in it. What's going on here? But yeah, that canceling stuff, I try not to get too involved with that. I just at most hear about, oh, this YouTuber, turns out they have been extorting money. They have been like a terrible parent off camera. They have been, I hear all these sorts of stories online, and I don't really comment too much, but there was a time where I might have watched one of them. I think one of them was, I don't like throwing people's names out there, but I did used to watch Illuminati. I used to watch her stuff a lot. It was more like background fodder than anything, because I watched the stuff where she was doing the, what is it? Reading Reddit stuff, like nice guys, nice girls, and some other crap. But then she started getting into doing like commentary and video essays about MLMs, like those multi-level marketing blogs. Well, that's just a fancy word for pyramid schemes, okay? And then also certain corporations. I think her series is called Corporate Casket or some other. But then after a while, her stuff was just getting really, really long, and I have a short attention span. Unless it's really interesting, I don't mind. And I understand to a degree why people would come and go and leave here. So I get why you would not want to watch all this stuff while I'm yammering on about random things you probably don't care about. I get it. I'm sad, but I get it. But then, yeah, when they mention all these things one after another about the Illuminati, doing some things, and I was like, oh wow, maybe it was a good thing I unfollowed her prior to all this stuff unfolding. But at the same time, it's also their livelihood, and I always feel bad for people who lose jobs that should not lose jobs. But as for her, I don't know her enough for me to be like, cancel. I can't do that. Like, while it is so easy to just write someone off for all these bad things, at the same time, they're still people, and they still need to live and have jobs and money to pay off all the stuff that you need to live. And of course, her stuff, I'm not saying that, oh, she's not a bad person. Maybe she is. I don't know, from all that stuff that they've been saying. But at the same time, I don't know this person. Who am I to write someone off? It's so easy to write people off on screen, but when we don't know her, we're not her. She is the only one to have an explanation on what's been going on, but I think she's been doubling down and throwing lawsuits left and right. And then I was like, okay, that's a bit crazy. You don't have to do that. And so it's kind of nuts. I don't like talking about other YouTubers because I don't know them. I'm just basing it off what I've seen and what content I've watched from them before, and then I just exit my way out. I don't like getting too involved in that stuff. It's not for me to say. I don't know them too well. It's just, oh, I used to watch your stuff, and then I just stopped because I got bored, and then, oh, there's all this stuff going on. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Wait, I shouldn't say sorry to you. I should say sorry to people that you that were victims of you and all that stuff. It's kind of like that it feels. And then it's I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy. It just started from one thing to another and it snowballed like crazy. It's insane. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about that stuff. It does get kind of tiring, and then it's like, oh, you're trying to go on the bandwagon, trying to crit. Like, I don't know too much. I don't know this person. I just watch her content, and then got bored. And then when I came, oh, I wonder what's happening with her. What the hell is all that stuff? What? Why? What's going on here? That's how that's my literal rough draft of reacting to a YouTuber that started really well and then what the hell happened here, you know? So okay, that's enough of that. I don't want to talk too much about that stuff. Um what else? What else? Oh, the internet's pretty good for once. So maybe direct Ethernet cable is pretty decent. Yay. I think I mentioned in one of my old talking videos on Instagram that I don't know about now, but I used to have this idea about wanting to have, it's not my idea. One of my old cool friends, they had like a drawing party or a sketching party where they just get together. Fruit fly, go F off. They would get together and just have like a drawing party and then just, I guess they just pick a theme and they draw from it and they share and exchange with everyone else. That's what I assume that's what that's like because I never been to one. I did have ideas doing that with my immediate family, but I think, and almost all of us draw except maybe one brother. But then I think because it's not very, it takes a lot longer. I feel like they don't have the attention span to keep doing that for the entire day or half like after lunch or whatever. So what we did do instead was Pictionary. And then that one I was always the designated artist on whatever team I ended up on. But I think in recent years I couldn't do that. After I gave birth, my health was not the best, so I cannot be overexerting myself to certain degrees. And one of them with Pictionary, I had to be on kneeling on the ground outside and then drawing the stuff on the pavement. We don't, I think the paper is too wasteful, whereas they could just spray water on the chalk stuff after we're done for the day. But I couldn't be on my knees drawing on the pavement anymore. I would get tired, like, and feel uncomfortable. And so I have to like pass on the chalk to someone else, and then they got to draw. And they're like, I don't know how to draw. Only Adele draws in our team. Yeah, that's my name. Hi. And so they're all like, oh my God, okay, are you sure you can't? I'm like, yeah, I can't do this right now. And so usually the ones who want to draw were the children. And I think that's more interesting because the children, they have their own way of drawing and the adults have their own, like, what the heck is that? Is that a boob? And it's like, no, it's the sun, you weirdo. And so, but then you can't say anything because the ones drawing have to be quiet and just keep pointing to the clues that they drew, and in hopes that they'll actually understand what the heck that the answer to the freaking Pictionary game. And so it was kind of interesting. That's the furthest I ever got to doing anything art related with my family, not like a drawing party. It was just we had like a bunch of games. I think a lot of Filipino American parties are like that, as well as Filipino parties in general. But yeah, it was the best we can do with people who were, I mean, to get drawing involved. But an actual drawing party, I never ever been a part of or hosted because I don't know anyone around me that likes drawing as much as I do. Um, even the friends that I had at the time, they don't care for drawing. They like me drawing for them, but they wouldn't want to draw with me. Like, oh, I can't compete with you. You know, they have that mentality. Like, what's the point of me drawing? You're just going to be the best at all of it. I'm like, I'm not the best at it. Who the hell said that? I never said that. And so, I was talking about in my talking video how like it would be really cool if I had a drawing party. But then the other thing is, I'm not very good at hosting, especially because I'm pretty awkward in person. Especially if I don't know you too well. But I think if we were good friends and we had some level of common interest from a lot to a lot, some or even one or two things, if we have something worth talking about, I'm more than happy to figure something out. But if I totally don't know you and you're not very easy to talk with, oh my God, it's not going to be a good party. It's all your fault. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I also have issues with having to break the ice in conversations. Oh my God, this is ugly. I wish I had my acrylic paint pens, but I don't know where I put them. And the ones that I do have, they don't always work. So I gotta make do with this. Should I just do like this? Maybe. Well, at least I did 3 paintings, so that's good. Maybe I could branch out a little longer. Let's find out. Let's find out. But yeah, I don't know enough people that would be interested. I also wouldn't want people that were like only artists can join this kind of like, no, you don't have to. It's just if you're curious about trying it, by all means. I also wouldn't want to force people like you have to draw or we will not be friends anymore. La, 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 la. You know, I don't want to be like that. That's stupid. But try something that's it. It's not like running. I'm not making you run or anything. You just sit and have supplies. I have plenty of supplies to go around. And I've done this before with people I know, and they just don't want to do it. I'm like, what the fuck? I have this stuff free and accessible for you, and you don't want to do anything. What the hell? You know? So I also need to remember to stop saying you know a lot. Anyway, yeah. So that's one of my far-fetched dreams, to do like a kind of small gathering of drawing party with a few cool people. No matter what art background you have, if you have some little to even know, but you're curious of trying it out, that would be great. But then unfortunately, yeah, especially around people my age, and especially if you're my age and you're a creature of habit and you refuse to try new things unless it piques your interest to X amount of degree. Okay, yeah, it was a failure from the get-go, unfortunately, at least from the people I know. Bleh. Wah, wah, wah. No, actually, I did join one online 2 times with a live stream. So I did technically do a kind of drawing party, but it's like something for an art group called Tags. Yeah. If you want to know more about that, feel free to let me know in the comments about that. What's all of that about? But I wasn't in charge, so I don't know how to set it up where, my camera. Sorry. I didn't know, because I just joined in and we just had like a camera test and some questions as to what to do and how to arrange things. And then I joined it and it was pretty okay for the most part. And then it helped a lot that I had some stuff already drawn in advance. So that helped me a lot better. So I was able to even finish it by a certain deadline that they required. So yeah, I think that helped me a lot. And then it also inspired me to do my own live stream because, it's not as bad as it seems. Because, yeah, and like I mentioned, I did not want to do live streams. I didn't even want to do YouTube again. I did try earlier, like think about 3 or 4 years ago, but I didn't like my approach earlier on. It was, what the hell was it? It was, sorry, I have to think. Tutorial, there you go, tutorials. I tried to have a tutorial approach, but I also had to do video editing seriously for the first time. And while I was working on it, I was dead bored as shit, man. I did not like it at all. And I did get a few views, likes, and I think a tiny bit amount of comments, but at the time I really didn't like how I felt about the entire project. I didn't find much joy in it. It just it felt too much like work and a lecture rather than me having fun. So I next to abandoned the project for a handful of years. Yeah, a bit over 3 years. And then when I started with talking on video. It was on Instagram first because I was more active in Instagram. I'm still more active in Instagram. Um, and initially, I did admit that I did have a YouTube channel, but don't look at it. It's gross. I don't like it. And then I was dabbling in reels, and that was a lot of fun. And I garnered a lot more views, follows, and comments. But then it sort of died down really fast as soon as I joined because their algorithm systems changed like a handful of times. And so I used to get 800 views, 2K views, 4K views. And then after their algorithm changes, I'm lucky enough to get 20 or even 50 views. And a good reel, quote unquote, good is over 100 views. That's pretty abysmal and stagnant as shit, man. So I was realizing that what's going on here. And so I try to look online to see how do I change this approach? What do I do to get some semblance of better traction than what I'm doing now? And I try to follow their advice, and all of them suck. They didn't work, okay? And I think what some of them did and don't want to admit is they were buying. I can't say who or, but I'm pretty sure that there is a good chance that they might have purchased their own followers, views, likes, and comments and all that crap. And I don't want to give whatever out there freaking money. You should give me money. But yeah, I cannot say that's what they did, but you do have that option if you want more follows, likes, and traction. You have to pay some certain website to give them money for X amount of traction and follows and likes and all that crap. And then the more money you give, you get a lot more from there. And I don't know how many people actually use that, but I'm pretty sure a good chunk of the popular ones might have done that. Okay. I don't remember what that website's called, nor do I want to encourage that kind of behavior because I don't even use it. I just saw that on a whim. I was like, oh my God, people actually do that? That's kind of shifty as hell. But if you really want that attention and you really, really want it that bad, I guess people tend to succumb to that. I can't really clown on that too hard. People do want to be liked and have some attention adorned on them, I guess. As for me, I just rather show my art stuff and then put it away somewhere. Because if I didn't have the internet, I would just draw all this stuff and then just throw them somewhere and no one would ever see it. That's usually was the case. Yeah. Is this enough talking? Oh, did I mention I joined Kara? I think I did. Maybe a live stream or two ago. I don't care for it. Why is everyone saying it's so great? I go there. It's no different than any other art app I've been on where all the greatest and prodigies and perfect artists, all their stuff is shoved into the forefront. They don't have like small thumbnails of like what DeviantArt used to do this, where they did show the most popular stuff, but they also showed new art posted just now. I like that option as well. Like you have like all the premier, prestigious, blah blah popular stuff. Then you have the ones who posted just right now, this instant, and they have like random people who. This was when DeviantArt was pretty cool at the time. I don't know about now. I don't look there anymore when they started extorting money. But yeah, I like that feature back then. When I saw on Carrara, I don't know what the hell that is now, they just show all the best of the best art. And I already am turned off by that. It's like, what about people who are new or people who are, posting new things? Like maybe they have like a blip once in a while, but it's mostly like perfect digital artist. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is no better than the other art apps that I've been to, and I don't feel like I belong yet again, so I'm not surprised. I'm already like, maybe I should delete that account. I can't even post my freaking profile picture on there. That's stupid. So I'm trying to give it a chance and just wait a bit and see what happens. I only posted one painting, and I'm trying to make that one a little serious than my usual stuff with goofy, weird stuff and weird memes and anime and all that stuff. But I don't see much difference from other art apps, unfortunately. But I'm trying to just hold out and see what happens. And please excuse my tiny guest speaker. So maybe I should wrap things up and do the rest off camera. Thankfully, I did a bunch of night chores earlier on, so maybe I can actually go sleep a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, what do I have? Hopefully, I won't get kicked out. Who's bothering me? Oh, thank you. Yay. Oh, wait, that friend's been busy, so hey, thank you. So, what did I does? Okay, so I painted this Alphonse Elric with, I call this the Blee face. I don't know why. I just think that's what suits it. And I was supposed to paint over it a little bit more, but I was yammering on. What else is new? And then I resumed the Sumiko Kurashi, but they focused only on the main cat and then two other cat buddies or siblings. I don't know. This time around, I didn't put any line art just to see what happens. It looks pretty nice, actually. And then this one, just basic ocean waves, but I haven't been doing this for a while, so I wanted to practice again. I do miss doing them when I figured it out properly, because there were instances where I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, this looks ugly. But after a while, it's not so bad. But yeah. Okay. And I did not do any of these because I just needed background fodder to make it look like, yeah. So, all right. I guess since no one came in to talk to me, I'm sad. Okay, not really. But yeah, it is late where I'm at. And so, there's a person there. I can hang out a little bit. Oh, let me try to paint. Oh, never mind. They left. Maybe I can leave before someone shows up. So I need to paint over this at least, and then paint this over. Man, I made more work for myself. Shoot. So that'll be it for now before someone shows up and actually wants to stay. Thank you for having me. And I was just testing out the Ethernet cable directed from the PC, but I figured I'd do some work in the process, and I got some done. Tiny as it is, it's still work. And I'll see you again, hopefully on Wednesday. On time. I'm sorry. Okay, take care now. Have a great night or great morning wherever you are. Bye-bye.